Welcome to episode number 24 of the RNG podcast, your one-stop shop for all things Raj and Grizz.
Yup,
I'm one of the hosts, Grizzly Berry. With me today is my wonderful co-host who I love so much.
yup. Okay, let's go. I can't even. That's the worst way to fucking.
Yup.
You know what? Yup. What's going on, people? How's it hanging, Grizz?
It's
What
hanging,
up
dude.
with you? It's hanging, huh?
It's been a great day, as you know.
Oh
Nothing,
man,
nothing wrong has
today
gone
has.
on today.
Today has been amazing. A lot of things have been realized. You know what I mean? A lot of
A lot of
changes have been made.
shortcomings.
Shortcomings have been made. Long coming. Is that a word? Can
That's
you
not
say
a word.
long comings?
No,
Like
please don't.
shortcomings, but it's no, it's not. Okay. All right. Anyways, you know what, Grizz? What are we talking about today, boy?
Oh man, let me tell you, I've cooked an excellent meal for you today. It's coming out on a silver platter. It's all about life, it's all about death, everything in between, the journey of life, right?
Yeah, Jumanji.
You ever see that movie with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson?
Wanted.
No. the,
That's not. Yeah. That's
the
not
bucket list.
Yeah. The one where just for people who don't know, you want to tell the people the.
Yeah. Basically, you're telling me you haven't seen it, but that's okay. Basically,
No, I've seen the bucket list. It's like the Schindler's Fish thing, right? That's a porno. It's the Yo, hey, Schindler's List. Okay, so they're both the same concept. It's just like old dudes are about to die who live out their like last dreams on Earth, right?
Schindler's List isn't really about that. It's like a World War II film.
Yeah, Schindler's Fish was not about World War II. That's all right. All right. Well, what are you saying about yeah.
Do you have a bucket list? Is there like some stuff you want to do or accomplish before you kick the bucket?
I don't have a bucket list written.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Write one right now. Let's come up with a few things. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want me to start?
Dude, okay. I don't believe in bucket lists.
Why not?
Okay, all right. Look. This is my logic behind it. All right,
Okay.
kids. If you hear this, don't adopt it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready for the logic, you don't take it in. Now, listen. The reason why I don't like bucket lists, I personally feel like, why would you sit there and predict your death and all the shit that you want to do before you die? Why not just go do those things? Why have a list? Why make it like a whole thing where you have to like live out your fucking life dreams before you die and all this shit? Isn't that common sense to live out your life dreams before you die? Why does that have to be? They made a fucking movie out of it. They made a meme out of it. You know what I mean? It's like everyone now writes bucket lists, I assume, right? I used to think bucket lists were like a white people thing.
I
To
think
be
it's more of
honest.
like a midlife crisis kind of thing. Like, people get to like 40, 50 years of age and they're like, man, I'm going to die soon. I'm like halfway through my life and I haven't done anything I want to do. So then they start like writing down the stuff that they want to do before they die because they know they're knocking on death's doorstep, you know?
We're assuming that if you're like 40, 50, and you're already thinking the death's door is that's about to knock on your fucking door. I mean, like, you probably have done some bullshit to warrant that. I mean, come on now. You know, you're 40, 50.
No, I mean, it's just like, you get to that age and you're just like, you look back and you're like, man, I had all these goals and dreams when I was young and I didn't do any of it. So now I'm halfway through my life and I haven't done any of the things that I thought I would do. So like, then they're like, I need to do something about it.
Dude, I have that kind of crisis like every fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Because like,
Yeah, but see,
'cause-
you still
yeah, I
have
mean,
20 years before the midlife crisis.
I have like a yearly life crisis. Like every year, I'm like, yo, shit, I'm not doing more than I did last year. Like I'm a fucking failure. I gotta do more. Like maybe that's just me. Like I'm more the kind of guy who's like, I gotta keep doing something new, something
I
different.
agree
But
with what
I
you
feel
said,
it, though.
though. Like, you shouldn't have to make
Yeah.
a list and be like, oh, I'm going to do this stuff before I die. Because then I feel like it's always like, it's on the wall, and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I can't do that today, but I'll do it eventually. It's on my list. I'll get to it. I'll get around to it instead of just doing it.
Yeah, but for the sake of this topic and me wanting to make you edit more, let's assume that we do have a list, okay?
Right.
So on this list, all right, I would say the number one thing on my bucket list. This is something I've always wanted to fucking do, or there's always something I've dreamed about happening. Is that one day I want to be able to win an Oscar for a movie. Like not really like a not an acting role or anything like that. Like it could just be for anything, but I want to win an Oscar for any kind of like production that I'm involved in, you know? I think that'd be dope. That's something that I've always had on my fucking
Bucket list.
like metaphorical bucket list. But yeah, that's on there. I would say that's
Man,
number one for me.
that's a lot more lofty than anything I have, I think.
What do you have?
My stuff is something that I could just do. Like I could do it, within the year if I wanted to do it. Like
Oh, that's not a fucking bucket
no,
list goal,
it's a
though. I'm
bucket
talking
list.
like what's like what? All right, you're telling me that your bucket list doesn't have some crazy ass shit in there. Like I want to go to Mars. I want to go to the moon or some shit. Like I don't know. Like do you have some crazy shit on there
I
that you
mean,
want to
like
see before you die?
it's all things that I have control over, all things that I can do on my own. I don't have to rely on anybody else to do it. Like one of the things on my list is like I want to climb a mountain. Not like Mount Everest, but like a big mountain that like, you have to prepare for and you have to train for and you set out to climb the mountain, you climb it.
Okay, so
I know that
no, I
sounds
see what
like
you're saying.
super
I see what
it
you're
sounds
saying.
weird, it sounds lame, but it's like that's 100% in my control.
Yeah, it's not lame. It's not lame at all. It's just it's what you yeah, it's just your perspective on that. Look, all I'm gonna say it's like this though, right? How much does your life mean to you? You know, like
That's
how
a
much does your life mean to you?
that
No,
question's a little
I'm
too
just
deep for me.
okay. Okay, it's a little too deep. It's hard to answer. I don't mean like put like $20 to your fucking life or some shit. I mean
Done.
like
Deal.
you know what I mean? Like done deal, baby. $20, cash me out. I'm done with this
Where do I
fucking life.
sign?
I think it works more like this with my line of logic because it's like, what is your life worth, right? So if you can sit here and tell me that your life is worth climbing a fucking mountain before you die, like I get that, like that's cool, like I understand that, right? But I'm thinking like like I thought you'd say some shit like, dude, I want to win a Grammy or some shit for a song
What?
that I wrote,
I don't
like
see
a
the
lot,
appeal
like
in that.
I'm thinking like this dude's like at a fucking, but
I don't want to
yeah, I
win a
don't know.
popularity contest. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's what award shows are. They're all popularity contests. But I don't know, dude. It doesn't have to be Grammys or anything. Like, What about like this though? Like, you know what I could really see you doing? Like, I feel it's a good bucket list goal for you.
Give me a
If I
bucket
could
list.
like,
Yeah.
if I could like suggest one,
Let me hear it.
I really want to see you perform one of your songs live for your audience one day.
I've performed songs for people before. Like that's
To your
not.
audience though, like live at like a concert
I
setting. Like,
don't.
I think
I
that's a
don't want
good
to do
bucket
that.
list
I
thing.
don't want to
You don't
sing like
want
a
to do
TFT
that.
song in front of people.
I guess it'd be TF2. What if you make some like more original music as like the years go by? You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean
Like just any
maybe
song you made, like performing that. I don't
that'd
know.
be dope.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good bucket list goal because that's not something that you strive to fucking do, but it's just something that you'd want to say you did before you died.
I
You
think
know what I'm
it's
saying?
difficult to say because we haven't sat down and we haven't like thought it out. So like I don't have a list of things that I'm like, oh, I want to do this. One thing I do want to do, I want to travel, right? I think everybody kind of wants to travel, but I look at my parents and like my parents haven't ever been outside the country. I mean, they've been to like Mexico and Canada, but that doesn't really count in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like I want to get out, I want to go to like every continent except for Antarctica. Nobody cares about Antarctica, but like I'd like to go to Australia. I'd like to go to Asia. I'd like to go to Africa. I'd like to go to Europe. You know? South
But
America.
wait, you're gonna diss Antarctica like that,
There's nothing down there. There's like some
bro?
scientists and some penguins or
What?
something.
Hey man, what, penguins?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
There's fucking glaciers that what? Hey, Antarctica is lit, bro. Like more people,
Yeah,
more
but can't
people
can't
need
I
to
see
go
that
to
stuff? Can I see
Antarctica.
that stuff like in Greenland?
Oh yeah, huh, you can, huh? Isn't it all ice in Greenland,
I
anyways?
mean, like if you go far enough north.
All right, so fuck Nerd. Let's talk about Earth, okay? So you like that segue? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
nice.
great.
No,
I really
all
like
right.
that.
Hey, it's a classic RNG segues. But all right, look, basically, I get what you're saying. You want to travel, so I think is your bucket list goal to travel to every single country in the world at least once?
Not every single country. That's a little too extreme.
A little too much.
I know it can be done, but it's like that's a little too much adventure for me.
What's like the most? Tell me one outlandishly ridiculous thing that you want to do, and then one thing that is acceptable to your skill level right now that you want to do before level 80 hits.
Like name one thing that I'd like to do that I'm not capable of doing right now.
Yeah, and then one thing you are capable of doing right now.
This is the non-crazy thing. I'd like to bike across the country.
That's dope. That's actually a really cool. Yeah, that's dope. I like that too.
I'm not prepared for that right now, but I don't think that's crazy. I don't have anything that's like crazy.
Like nothing, because I said Oscars, which is fucking crazy. But then like
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't.
like anything. I could be anything. Anything. I don't know.
I have
Like
nothing.
that's
I've got nothing in my mind that's like that's because for me in my mind, crazy is like unobtainable, something that just seems like so unlikely. And everything, I wouldn't put anything unlikely on my list. Like I would put stuff down that I know I can do. I just need to make time to do it.
right. Because you know yourself better than everyone else. So this is kind of like
It's
what
not
you know
knowing
about
myself
yourself.
better. It's just most people could do the stuff that I'm putting down.
No, okay, yeah, that too, that too. Okay, wait, let me make it a little bit more personal then. All right, so, okay, you've known me for how many years now?
Like 3 years.
All right, in the 3 years that you know me, one of the things I've always told you about myself is that I want to become an entertainer. That's the number one thing I always told you. So whether it's doing stand up, being an actor, doing this YouTube thing, whatever it is, right? I want to be an entertainer at the end of the day. So if that's my goal, I guess, or not my goal, but if that's sort of like what I'm about, my bucket list is going to have goals that are geared towards that, right? Whatever the extreme is in that path. So for me, Oscars is fucking extreme in that path. You know what I'm saying? That's the most extreme you could get in that world. So I guess what I'm asking you is if that's something that I associate myself with, which is being an entertainer in the whole world of entertainment, what do you associate yourself with?
I don't have an association like that. I don't have something that I'm like, this is what I want to be. This is my goal. All I want is just like to grow up, to grow up. I want to
Grow
grow
up.
up, and I
Yeah.
just want to be able to make an income and be comfortable. Like I don't need to be rich. I don't need to be famous. I just want to be comfortable and happy with my life. Because I feel like that's just I don't have any reason to set those high expectations or those high goals because I just don't want that. That doesn't appeal to me.
Can you ever be like truly happy in life though? I don't think
For
you
me,
can. I don't think that's a
happiness for me
thing. I
doesn't
don't think
come
it's a
from
thing.
setting a crazy goal and getting it. It just comes from recognizing what you have and like being happy with what's around you.
Let's forget about crazy goals. Let's forget about like goals for like 1 second, right? I just want to go down this like little rabbit hole for like 1 minute here. All right, look at it like this, right? So aside from goals, accomplishing them and then becoming happy, I don't think there's ever gonna come a time in life where you're always gonna be happy. Like no matter where you are at in life, it doesn't matter if you're like aiming for like it doesn't matter if you're going for Oscars or like Grammys, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing that versus doing what you just said, which is just living a simple life and you know. So I feel like either way you look at it, I don't think anyone is ever truly happy in life. I don't think you can ever be truly happy because life is just a mix of everything, right? So like that's like you can't be happy all the time in the same regard that you're going to be sad, you're going to be disappointed, you're going to get tilted, you know? But you could also be happy, you could also be, like uh you could also lead like a good life, but you could still be really sad. I guess my point is what I'm trying to get to is that I don't know, like can you really ever be truly happy in life?
Right. So happiness, I think maybe I shouldn't have used that word because a lot of people make that it seems like you're always walking around with a smile on your face like life couldn't be better. But when I say like I want to be happy, it basically means like I just want to be content. Like nothing like I look around at my life and I'm going, "Oh, you know what? I'm not in debt. I have my health. I have a family that I love or whatever." It's just like I want to be able to look around that and be like, "You know what? Things are pretty good." That's all. I mean, my expectations for life aren't that high. So I don't think I have to, have all this stuff going on to be happy. I feel like as long as I'm able to put food on the table for myself and I have a place to live and I have free time where I can have my hobbies, like I'll be happy.
Yeah. That's cool too, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's something really valuable that people need to also have, because you have people like me who are never fucking satisfied or happy, always trying to like do something. You know what I mean? Trying to like find. I guess like for someone like myself, I'm always one of those guys that expects more out of myself and life. So like I'm never happy with what I have. I always want to have more. You know what I mean? And that's I don't know. For me, it's like it's a blessing and a curse because, like, I really wish what you had, which is the ability to be content with life, right? I guess I'm not really in that mindset because I can never truly be content like that. Like for me, it's like I can't be happy knowing that like I'm just in a relationship or I'm just doing this one thing or that one thing. Like for me, it's like constantly like, dude, you know what? If you can do this, then you could do that. Or like, hey, dude, if you got this, then you got that. Like that's like I guess that's just the way I think, and it's a blessing and a curse because like it's a blessing because I create like I can create a lot, like I can do a lot, but at the same time, it's a curse because I'm never happy with like the simple things in life. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like it's like a double edged sword in a lot of ways. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I didn't understand what you said earlier when you were talking about living like a happy life. You know, that was something that I couldn't really understand, but it makes sense. So you just want to be content. Whatever it is that you end up doing in life, you want to remain in a state of contentment.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as I'm comfortable financially, most important to me is like time. Like I said, like I want to have the time and freedom to work on things that I want to work on. So like you were saying, like the music thing, like I want time out of my day where I can sit down and work on music. Like I want to have that free time. I don't want to go to work for 8 hours a day, 8, 9 hours a day, come home, and then I do family time. Like I'd like a 20-hour work week. So maybe this is the goal: the 20-hour work week with a bunch of free time where I can do whatever I want. Basically, that's the goal.
I feel it. I feel it. Dude, it's crazy because like the way you view it is so smart. I would okay. I wouldn't say smart. I'd say the way you view it is realistic as fuck, and I love that because a lot of people don't have that realism about art, right? A lot of like I see a lot of people your age or younger who basically throw away like their whole life. I mean, like everything. Like they're throwing everything away just so they can go like perform at like shitty coffee shops and clubs with their music, just so they can like promote it somehow, somewhere, right? Like people are obviously like always on the grind to get their music out. They go to radio stations, they bug them to put their music up. Like that's what they do in their free time while you're working a 9 to 5, earning money and having a stable fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, but you still have the same interest they have in music. You still want to do the same things that they want to do. But I think both people are. I mean, both approaches are like completely fucking different. It's
Yeah,
kind of
I mean, I
crazy.
think there's something to be said for those people who they go to the coffee shops, they go to the like open mic nights, and they grind and they get their name out there. There's definitely something to be said for that. And I've always felt that life isn't just one path. Like for me, it's weird to think about, but like in my mind, it's always like, oh, I could have done this, or I could do this, or I could do this. There's like multiple things that I could do and be happy with. Like if I wanted to, I could have gotten married at like 20 and had a kid and gotten married, and like if that's what I wanted in life, I could see myself being happy doing that. If I wanted to
Fucking white
pursue
people.
music or if I wanted to pursue music or entertainment, then I could go all in on that and I could spend, all of my 20s and 30s doing that. So it's like there's all these different branches of life that I could have done and that I still look at and go, "You know what? Maybe I want to do that." But it's like I don't know. After a certain amount of time, it's just kind of like I just want to be happy with what I have. I don't know. It's tough to talk about because like part of me does want what you're talking about. Like I want to go out there. I want to make a name for myself. I want to do these things. But another part of me is like maybe that's not what I want. Like part of me wants to move to the city and live in a big city and enjoy that experience. But part of me wants to live in a small town and enjoy that experience. Like there's so many different experiences that I want to do, but you can't do them all. You have to like kind of choose.
I feel like maybe at the end of the day, you can do it all. Maybe that's why we had the bucket list idea. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why we had the whole bucket list idea, right? So maybe one day we can do it all, right? But I don't know. That's so interesting that you bring all that up because there's something to be said about that too, where it's kind of like conflicting. It's like an inner conflict to decide which experience you want over the other experience. And I texted you about this yesterday about this
Yeah.
too, right? Because yeah, I was like, dude, I want to get back into YouTube, but I'm trying to like figure out life, and if I want to, I don't know which experiences are worth it. And you were just telling me like, there's no right answer in life, right? Like you don't know. There's no right answer. You just gotta, you know. And yeah, dude, I don't know. Like the whole conversation's coming back full circle, but I don't know. It definitely is interesting to look at that and the whole concept. Okay, but let's do this though. So you did say there's a part of you that does want what those other guys are doing. That's like making a name for themselves, going out and promoting their brand and all that, right? So, in terms of your bucket list, let's assume you went down the route of being a content creator full time, like you really wanted to pursue this, right? What would be your like one craziest thing you would want to accomplish?
I mean that's hard to say too, because it's like you say, oh, like a content creator or an entertainer, and there's like so many different branches. Like part of me wanted to do YouTube, right? Like that was kind of what I set on for a while, and I want to do the gaming thing, and I think that could be really fun doing that. And like a goal for that would be like 1 million subs. Everybody wants 1 million subs because that's like a huge milestone. But then like another part of me would be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I could do like theater, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm too old now and I'm inexperienced. But part of me when I was younger doing like shows on Broadway and like performing, and then part of me thinks like, yo, maybe just being like a musician and like a band would be really dope. So like all three of those avenues have appealed to me at some time in my life, and they all kind of appeal right now. But it's like I don't know if there's an end goal. I mean, like, if I were a performer and I made it on Broadway, that would be huge. Like, to me, that would be success. If I were an artist and I was able to make a living, like just selling my music, that would be huge. If I was on YouTube and I was able to make, basically, is being able to do those things and make a living would be like my end goal, basically.
Yeah, I feel it. So that's kind of like that would be on your list of like crazy shit that you want to accomplish.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like that stuff is so. It's not like a lifetime goal necessarily because, like, if I wasn't on Broadway by 30, it's like, okay, why are you trying? If
Yeah,
I
I feel it. I
haven't
feel it.
been gaining a
Yeah.
bunch of subs over time, why continue to try? Like, there's just a certain point where you have to, like, where the realism comes in and you're like, okay, maybe this isn't really obtainable. Like, I think the lifetime goals for those things happen so quickly that they're not necessarily lifetime goals.
Yeah, that was another thing I was gonna say. Cause when you were talking about like 1 million subs being a big thing, dude, I've seen so many fucking channels get to 1 million so quick just off of dumbass content. Like that's why like I don't look at like YouTube milestones used to be huge for me until I realized I could do them too. And then I'm like, all right, these yeah, I mean, it just takes consistency and time. That's all it is, really. There's not much else to it. So it's kind of like if that's all it is to get there, then I can understand. I understand why those are not necessarily like huge goals.
What are your like tiny goals? Because you said like an Oscar as either, it could be as an actor or a director, as a writer, whatever. And that's like a big, like lofty goal. But what are like the smaller things? Like, is there anything you want to do before you're 30?
Yeah, yeah. So before I'm 30, there's a couple things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is I want to write my first stand-up special. That's something like I really want to fucking write. So that's something that has been on my mind, but I don't have it. I feel like I don't have enough life experiences to write a whole special. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I got to get into more shit.
Because the
So
special's like, what, an hour?
it's an hour. So imagine talking about
Yeah,
your
it's a
life for
lot.
an hour. It's a lot. And I mean, I have material now for an hour if I wanted to really go back and dig, but it's like I want to make it more real to my timeline right now. You know what I'm saying? Not some shit that happened like 5 years ago. So yeah, it's something that I'm working on. That's something I really want to do before I'm 30. Another thing is to make a fucking YouTube video before I'm 30. I feel like maybe that's a good goal to have too. And I don't know, man. My smaller goals are what some people would consider big goals too. But I mean, I feel like that's some shit that I feel like I could do. So I don't know. Those are my smaller goals. Stamp special, YouTube video. Another thing I want to do before I hit 30 is to hit 1 million subs. I feel like that's also kind of like a goal that I could possibly do. That's another one. And yeah, I guess those two. Those are two that come to mind. Before I'm 30, I also want to write my first book. I think that'd be dope too. I want to write
I
a
think a
fucking
book would be
book.
sick. I've always wanted to write a book.
Dude, books are dope. I like books.
They are. But the thing about a book now is like it's so crazy is that you can like self-publish it and you can have it on Amazon and like
And it could be on New York's bestseller if they choose. Like, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so books is one. Another thing I really wanted to do was have a successful podcast with over 10 votes on iTunes, talking about how good we are. So maybe that. I mean, I don't know. Before 30, if
before 30
RNG
that'd be
community
sick.
I don't know if RNG is gonna come through. It kind of relies on them for that one. But there's that. I don't know, man. So books, stamp special, YouTube, million subs. Those are my before 30 sort of things that I want to accomplish.
Yeah. What kind of book would you write?
Ooh, if I had to write a book, dude, I would literally write. Okay, hold up. First of all, though, wait, this ties into my stand-up special idea,
Okay.
right? So my stand special, I'm working on this. It's called Tilted. So
Wow, great.
it's like literally like dude, like, cause like in my life, dude, I've gone through so much unnecessary tilt and bullshit, whether
Oh
it's
my
caused by me
god.
or just other people. No, think about it. I've gone through
Yeah,
it.
sure, whatever.
But that's my experience, me sharing it with you. So obviously it's not going to be as tilt as whatever you think your experience is. But for me, that's what it is. So in my context, like I'm writing a whole thing on that. It's a comedy special. If I write a book, it's going to be about the art of life. It's going to be the book is going to be called The Art of Tilt, right? And it's going to teach you how to tilt people, right?
Wow.
In the most effective way. And it's going to teach you how to not get tilted by people and how to just live your life tilt free. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a story for the ages. You know, children can sit down and read the story to themselves. Like, all right, now I know how not to tilt myself. Oh, now I know how to tilt my buddy because he's fucking with me. You know what I mean? I'm going to teach him the game. I'm gonna put him on to the world of tilt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's sort of like my goal with the book.
That'd be dope. So it's like a life advice kind of book.
Yo, okay, no, it's cool you mentioned that. When I was in high school, I was writing a book called it's called You. The book is just called You, right?
YOU?
YOU. Yeah, and the concept of the book is simple. Is gonna have the book is called You is gonna have a couple pages of me explaining the concept of the book, right? And the whole concept is that there's gonna be blank pages and it kind of acts like a diary. So you fucking write down what you did that day, and then when you flip the page, it's gonna be what I did that same day. Like it's gonna be day one of my diary experience while you're writing the day one of yours, right? And at the end of the book is gonna be like a comparison of two lives, two completely different lives. And at the end is going to be a fucking mirror in the back of the book so you look at yourself. So it's kind of like a reflection. The book is like a reflection of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I had this like really cool concept for like a motivational self-help book like that, but I never really got around to like creating it. That was just some shit I had an idea for back in high school. But yeah, it was some like weird like
There's kind of
fucking
something there. I
yeah.
see something there. It's maybe not quite complete,
It
but I
was
feel like
like
there's an
high
idea.
school Raja coming up with this shit. Yeah, dude. Dude, speaking of like high school ideas, did you used to come up with like crazy ass shit in high school?
Oh my god, dude. When I was in high school, so like I had one friend who was in my sister's class. He was 2 years older than me. And one summer we were like, yo, we're gonna write like a film. It was called Tommy, okay? And it was basically about like this kid who like grows up in the mafia. And keep in mind, we're like in South Central Kansas, which is like basically just like farms, you know? So it's just like a bunch of white people. But we had this big idea for this movie, and like we wrote out the whole thing and we scripted it. We were gonna shoot it, and like we never shot it. Like we tried getting around to filming it, and like we started with some of our friends because like we were gonna act it out ourselves, obviously, because it was gonna be sick, and we wanted to do it. We scrapped it, and then we rewrote it like a year later, and I still have the file, and it's like on my Google Docs, and we still have it, but it's never come to fruition, but it's still there.
That's
Tommy,
cool as fuck,
if it
though.
ever comes out,
Tommy. Ugh. Give me a little private screening
oh
when it
man, I'll
drops.
have to. Yeah,
God damn. That's cool as fuck, man. You have way cooler ideas
I don't think
than
so.
I
That's not
did.
a cool idea.
So as a kid, did you used to like come up with like crazy shit?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I can't think of anything right now, but I think as a kid, I was always like inventing ideas in my head. I think every kid does,
Yeah. Dude,
except for those
as a
dumb
kid,
ones.
the fucking dumbass kids. I used to abuse the dumbass kids as like a young kid, dude. I used to abuse the shit out of them. So the way, all right, so this is fucked up, right? So here's the thing. I was in second grade. I remember this. This is my fucking elementary school. I was in second grade, and we used to have like classes where it used to be third graders down. You know, they used to all get along and shit. They used to be
Yeah.
like the little group, right? So in our school, there used to be this like little sand area in like not like they
Like a
didn't design
sandbox.
it. No, no, it wasn't designed like a sandbox. It was just like a little area where it was like dirty sand everywhere, right? And like a tree. It was like a dirty sand,
Dirty
little
sand.
fucking yeah. It's like dirt, fucking sand. Like I don't know. It was like a weird little area in the corner of the school, right? So what I did, bro, is I had this really cool idea with one of my buddies. I was like, let's create an irrigation canal in the fucking in the thing, right? That's kind of cool. So what I did was I was like friends with all the other kids, so I would like use them to do free labor for me, right? So I remember, dude, like I used to do some like stupid ass shit. I remember I used to sit there like sipping on my fucking juice box during lunchtime, right? And I used to like yell at these fucking other kids to like dig deeper, like dig more. And I used to be such a dick about that shit too. I remember there was this one kid in particular, dude. Like he wouldn't stop. Like he'd be so weak at digging that I yelled at him one time, like he almost cried. And then I think he told on me or some shit happened, right? And then the principal came and she saw what I was trying to do to the fucking ground, and she like shut down the whole canal operation, dude. Like,
Shut it down, dude.
She shut that shit down. But for a good portion of that was the most glorious canal, dude. Like I legit got like 6 kids to dig me a fucking canal, and I filled the whole shit with water, and it actually didn't work. It was actually a dumb idea. Like it didn't even fucking function well. But it was the execution of it. Like that was the one idea that I got executed back then.
Stank kids, dude. When I was a kid, your canal system reminded me of this. But when I was a kid, I used to have birthday parties. You know, people would have birthday parties back in the day. We lived kind of out in the country, like away from everybody, so there wasn't a whole lot to do. But I remember like one of my birthday parties, I had the idea that we were just gonna dig a hole. So like we went out in my yard and we just started digging, and we dug for like hours. It was like me and like 3 other kids, and we just dug a hole, and that was like entertainment to us.
Honestly, dude, I'd go dig a hole. I mean, it's a guy thing, because like right now,
If you gave me a shovel right now and some soft ground, I'd be digging, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, look, whenever I'm stressed in life, I go backyard and I just start digging, dude. I start digging. I don't stop. I just keep that shit going. We don't ever stop digging.
Big deep hole, man, like 5 feet deep. That'd be sick.
Whew.
Woo!
Imagine that. Imagine going through like a shitty breakup or some shit, and then you're just in the backyard like fucking digging shit up
digging,
like all
dude.
day long. You're just digging, dude.
Gotta
like,
take your
you're
frustration
like,
out on something.
just gotta dig.
Just
keep
gotta
digging.
dig, dude.
You know what I mean? That's hilarious. Wait, anyways, back to the topic.
Back to the topic. Anyway,
Back to the topic. Anyways, now that we've gone down that rabbit hole, what would be on your bucket list?
I want to dig a big hole.
Hey man, like a hole to China type hole, like a fucking.
I want to dig my own grave.
Ooh, that's a good bucket list goal
That's
right
not
there.
a good
What?
goal. That's stupid.
That's a great goal. No, that's amazing. Think about it. Like think about it. You want me to be responsible for my bullshittery, right? Like you want me to be responsible for my fuckery. The thing is, shouldn't you also be responsible for your own death in a lot of ways? Like, shouldn't you be like cognizant
What?
that this shit's gonna, you know what I mean? All right, look, here's my logic. Let me hit you with this. All right. So this is just a random fucking thought. All right, it's probably gonna sound dumb as shit, but anyways, all right. That's what I think. I feel like in life, you need to be responsible. Correct, right? Yes.
Correct.
Or no? All right. So if you do something fucked up, you should be responsible for your action. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So if your whole life you live with this knowledge that you're responsible for yourself, okay? Right? And you're responsible for your actions, you're responsible for everything. Shouldn't you also be responsible for taking care of your death? You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't you have something lined up for that? Like,
do you mean
imagine
as
you're,
far
like,
as like
70.
paying for it?
Yeah. Imagine you're 70 and we're going back to that scenario where you die at 80. Okay, you already know you're going to die for this shit, right? If you already know you're going to die, why not just preemptively fucking make it a whole thing? You know what I mean?
Make it a
Go dig
whole
your own
thing.
shit. Yeah, like you already know what's going to happen. Put it on Facebook events.
Personally, I would like to be digging the hole and then die from overexertion, and then somebody just comes and they just like cover me up. I'm already in the hole. I just die in it.
Hey, that's amazing. Dude, what?
When they tell me I have like a week left, I'm saying just put me out in the hole, dude. Just like give me a shovel and let me start digging.
when you're about to die, it's not imagine me dying. Right? It's my scenario. I want to be inside of like a little glass dome where I can't hear anything on the outside, right? But I want to be surrounded by all my family and friends. Like,
That's
everyone's
okay. This
around
is
the dome.
weird.
All right. While I'm digging the fucking grave, like what? Like, yo, dude, I'm digging this shit, right? I'm like working hard. I'm going in on this shit, right? I want everyone around me, like I can't hear them, but they can see me. They can see my action. I want them to like reminisce about me while I'm still alive, digging my own grave, like some fucking goat status, dude. I'm gonna dig the shit out of that fucking grave, and then probably from the exhaustion, I'm gonna just fall right into that shit. And then it'll be all over. It'll be like a
You want
very,
everybody
like,
to
you know
be
what I
there
mean?
to see you die?
Yeah, I want them to like see like even the last moments this guy's digging his fucking grave, dude. What a
Oh my
fucking legend.
god.
Like this guy's a goddamn he's a
Oh,
goddamn
that's true,
legend,
dude.
dude.
That's true. If you're digging your own grave, you're a
That's what-
legend.
Think about that, dude. Like if you're dead, right? Like you might as well go out doing some crazy ass shit. Like I want to go out doing some crazy ass shit. So like when I die, I want my kids to not be like, oh yeah, he choked on a peanut and died unattended in a hospital bed. You know,
Well,
I
that
want,
could happen
you know what I
tomorrow.
mean?
How would you feel?
That could. But in this situation though, I want my kids to be like, this motherfucker dug his own grave while everyone around him was like fucking crying. He dug his own grave and died in it in the same fucking breath. That guy's a legend. That guy, that's my dad right there. How did your dad die? A fucking peanut? My dad died digging his own grave, dude. Look at that shit.
You know what?
He's
You're just gonna be a poser at that time, though.
Why? Are you gonna do it too?
I'm gonna do it before you.
Fucking piece of shit, dude.
I got the 3-year advantage, dude.
Oh no, dude, that's bad. You know, but you eat healthier than I do, so you'll probably live for this. You'll live for this extra 3. I got.
It's gonna be a race to the grave.
Oh shit, dude! A race to the grave. Dude.
Yeah.
That should be the name of this fucking podcast.
What do you think of those live funerals? What are they called?
Those
Living
happen?
funeral. A living like I
funerals?
think people I think it's like they know they're gonna die soon or whatever, or like
Yeah.
they figure they have a few years left. I don't know how it works exactly, but I think they kind of invite everybody that would come to their funeral just to come and like spend time with them, you know, just as like a final hoorah. So it's never like, oh, the last thing I said to him was this. It's more of like I knew he was gonna die.
I can't do that. I can't. I'm not part of that.
You're not into that life?
No. I'm not into that lifestyle.
I'm not
Because like,
either.
here's a, yeah, fuck that shit. Because like, here's the thing. If you said some fucked up ass shit to me and then I die, I want you to live with that shit. You know what I mean? I want you to think every night before you go to bed, like, oh, I shouldn't have said that to Raja. He's dead. Fuck, dude. Like, I got the guilt. I want you to go to sleep with the guilt of being a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? I want you to have that in you. But that's the thing. Like, that's my satisfaction when I die. All the fucking haters and like gossiping fucking assholes and shit. I want them all to just like have that thought in their mind. You know what I'm saying, dude?
I agree
don't
with
want them
that.
to. Yeah, I don't
To a
want them to
certain
come
extent.
out there and give out their grievances. Fuck that shit. That's like you're getting off easy at that point.
Like it's not necessarily because I want them to feel bad or guilty because that was the last thing I said. I just want the last thing they say to me to be like how they feel, you know? Because like if they know I'm gonna die, they're gonna be nice to me. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, you know
Oh,
what? You're a really
nah,
good
fuck
dude." Like
that.
I want the truth.
Fuck that. Dude, that opens the door for so much tilt. I can't even be like I don't want to die tilted. Like that I don't want to die tilted, dude. If there's ever one way to not die is to not die tilted. I don't want to die tilted ever. That's like that can't happen. Like I'm pretty sure if I pull up to that fucking live funeral, right? And then everyone gets their last chance to talk. They'll say some shit, dude. They'll say some shit that I can't recover from mentally. I might be like 80, about to die. And this dude hits me with some like hits my insecurities at 80 years old. Like fuck that shit, dude. I don't want to have to like live through that. Fuck that. If anything, I would want to do my idea, which is like I'm digging my own shit. Like I don't want to hear anything anyone says. I'm gonna dig my own shit. I'm gonna follow my own grave. I'm gonna go out as a living fucking
What would you
legend,
wear?
baby. I'd wear an all white suit, all white suit. No, I mean it depends the location where I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? Like if I know I'm gonna die, in
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say if you're in that big dome, it might
like
just be
a-
like a greenhouse. It's gonna heat you up.
right. So I might wear shorts, some boxers. You know what I'm saying? Some nice Calvin Klein boxers. Yeah,
And maybe
gotta
get a
be
sponsorship, dude.
perfect.
Get a little sponsorship, and they could like live stream it.
Yo, would a company sponsor a funeral? Because that would be crazy. Like, I don't know if companies do that, but that would be
They could have
insane.
like the tagline, "Wearing my Calvins to the grave."
Ooh. Or Nike, just do it. Except, don't
Not
do
even
it.
death can keep me from my Calvins.
Not even death can prevent the taste of this Klondike bar, you fucking bitch. Yo, I want that. I want my funeral to
You
be
die and
provided by
they wedge a
Klondike.
Klondike bar in your mouth. They're just like, "Oh, put this in there." It's for the sponsorship.
No! I'm down, dude. Klondike, hit me up.
Your kids are like moving your jaw and like making you chew it.
Oh my god, that's amazing. And then they have like a voice line of you the previous day before you died, like, this is a good Klondike bar. Just play that shit as you're like chewing it. Like just some like corporate sellout shit. And then all the like everyone in the funeral has to wear like a Klondike shirt, but with your face on it too. Like just awesome disrespectful ass shit. That's hilarious, dude. Now, if you had to get a company to sponsor your funeral, which company would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough question.
It could be any company, anything you
I
want.
know,
Whatever,
man, but there's a lot of
you know what I
there's a
mean?
lot of companies.
I'd say McDonald's for me.
I thought about McDonald's. What makes you say McDonald's?
Because if I die, it's probably gonna be because of their fucking food. So they might as well sponsor the funeral too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let them get away easy with the murder. What the fuck? They're gonna have to fucking pay their dues.
Raj's
You know what I'm
death
saying?
sponsored by McDonald's. We're the reason he's dead.
My tombstone is it's such a gigantic burger. Like it's just a big ass McChicken. My
I was
body's
gonna say
inside
it's like the
McChicken.
golden arches.
Oh my god. It's a mech funeral. Oh my god. Hey man, I'm down. I'm down.
That's
Mech
like I
funeral,
had no
sign
clue
me
what
up.
you just said.
I said mech
Mech
funeral,
funeral.
you know what I'm saying?
I know. I had
dude.
no clue what you were saying at first, but then I got it, and it was pretty funny. McDad.
But he won't be in mech debt because he got this mech sponsorship, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
But yeah, no, like it meant,
Maybe funerals should start being sponsored.
Hey, honestly, like I'd be down for that because like that takes the burden of payment from the family, right?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, I'm down for that.
It takes care of like the catering.
If I'm sponsored by McDonald's, dude, everyone that comes gets those like little toys that you used to get like back then in the day.
Happy
at
Meals,
McDonald's? Ooh, everyone gets a Happy Meal when they leave, but the toy is gonna be my action figure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's
my
gonna be
God.
me, dude. It's gonna be a little action, a little Raj figure, a little Raja action figure. What would you say is your sponsor?
Maybe like Subway.
Eat fresh. Ooh, that's not. I don't know about that. At a funeral, that's a little
Right.
cannibalistic, don't you think? That's a little.
They could put me in the coffin, and I could like hold a sub on my chest.
Ooh.
And then like the funeral members would walk up and it'd be pre-sliced and they'd take a piece of it.
It'd be pre-sliced. What the fuck? I like how you thought about that too. That's a real Grizz moment right
They
there.
come
That's a
up and
real
they have to
Grizz
take
thing
it
do.
off my body.
Yeah. Hey, that's a real Grizz thing to do right there. Like
Yeah?
he organizes his own death too.
Well,
Like it's cut out and shit.
I don't want anybody having to slice it on my chest, just it's pre-sliced.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. That's crazy. What the
That's
fuck?
crazy, man. You know what's crazy? Our lack of 5-star reviews on iTunes.
Yeah, what the fuck is up with that, boys?
We need you guys to commit.
Like, fuck. Like,
Show
you
a little
want
support
us-
for the boys.
Grizz nails me every week on my lack of timeliness and communication, but I'm a hit the RNG community with this shit right now, boys. Y'all better fucking show up. You know what I'm saying? You guys better fucking show up to these videos. You better show up loud, represent. You know. What
I don't
mean?
want
You
my
gotta
I don't
get
want my
in there.
funeral to be sponsored. So I need the 5-star reviews.
I want my funeral to be sponsored by RNG community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude? Like that's I don't want that. It's actually depressing. Let's not do that.
Let's not.
Yo, hey man, that's actually kind of crazy. But we'll leave that for next week. I had a crazy topic. We'll hit that next week.
We'll hit that next week. Next week's topic, you guys heard it here first. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Spicy. Spicy, boys. But yeah, with that being said, I think
That
it's
being
time to
said.
do our classic call out saying, yo, actually real quick, so I got to bring this up. So one of my friends the other day told me that he listened to the RNG podcast with his other friend and they were listening to like the whole thing, right?
They didn't like the sign off,
then-
did they?
Well, because like here's the thing, both like one of my friend thinks everything I do is cringe because he knows me in real life and he
Right,
knows
yeah.
what kind of person I am. So obviously he's gonna think that. But at the end of the podcast, right, there's this part where we always do like the RNG, right?
Yeah.
The RNG classic fucking.
It's the
thing,
classic ending.
Right? It's a classic ending. So they were both like they thought that shit was like hella funny. They thought it was
Did they
like,
say
kinda
it with
cringe.
us? Did they rewind
No.
it and say it?
When the other friend left my friend's house, he was like, RNG. And then I was like, all right.
That's
okay. That's right, baby. You call it what you want. We're just influencing people at this point. You better fucking get off your fucking high horse. With that being
All
said,
right.
let's nail this RNG for the fucking
Everybody
children
join
at
in.
home. Everybody join in. If you're at home right now, You know, grab your spouse, your dog, your
Say,
mom,
say
your
it with
dog,
us.
your dad. Yeah, just grab somebody, hold their hand. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Don't hold their hand. It's kind of weird. All right, here we go. RNG time, baby. Wait, no,
No,
no.
you
It's a
didn't. You
countdown.
didn't
There's a
even count it
countdown.
down.
I fucked that up. Huh? I was like hyping it up too, and I fucked up the countdown. I got you. I can't. Give me a minute. I can't. Hold on. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. RNG. You know what I'm saying, boy? Okay.